Hey everybody, Roman versus with the Squashfest podcast and my co-host.
SmackDown. The boy Harm.
You think so? It was better
We'll get
than
into it.
than several weeks of SmackDown.
We'll get into it. Oh God, that show. That show flew by, but it doesn't mean it was entertaining.
We'll go through it.
All right, so SmackDown emanated from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada last night, and boy was that crowd Canadian.
They were
So Cena's,
loud. They
they
were
were loud, they were
chanting. They were
yeah,
engaged. Yeah, you could tell it's so different from the American crowds who I feel like it's because we're spoiled. We have this show running through. We have Raw and SmackDown running through the states all year round. And so when they go away to somebody who hasn't seen it in quite a bit, they let it be known.
yeah. Show kicks off with John Felix Anthony Cena coming out to the ring, and he cut the baby faces of all babyface promos. Like if there was a handbook, first of all, let me get rid of this. Okay.
Whatever it was, nobody could see it.
Oh, okay. Cool. It was on my camera, so I just wanted to make sure.
Copy.
Um so if there was a handbook on how to cut a promo as a babyface,
Mm-hmm. That was it.
this was it. This was it. He comes out and I swear he took 5 minutes to praise the crowd and explain to them why WWE didn't come back to Edmonton for years. And the reason being was Survivor Series 1997, Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels. They did not want to come back to that crowd for years because they thought they were going to take over and hijack the show. He goes into how he has only 11 dates left after last night,
Mm-hmm.
and he's getting afraid of how people are going to forget about him, afraid of a whole bunch of things. And then he goes, I'm even afraid of Brock Lesnar.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, then he quickly transitions up and says, I'm not afraid of Brock Lesnar. I'm afraid for Brock Lesnar because now you have a John Cena problem.
Mm-hmm. And all
And
the
just
boys
like
in the back, they got a John Cena problem.
yeah, they said, Brock, if you want some, come get some. And I swear, because Brock lives somewhere in Canada, I thought he was going to show up last night, but apparently not. When John Cena calls all the boys out to the back, of course it's going to be social media megastar, internet troll, Dennis the Menace lookalike Logan Paul. And Logan comes out and he says he doesn't even recognize this John Cena. Why? Because John Cena switches up. Which is what I was thinking during the main event when I was watching. It was like, wait, wasn't Logan and John just tagging together like 2 months ago?
Yes, sir.
So Logan says, I've never switched up. This is why this is why I'm the greatest. And even you said Logan Paul does WWE better than John Cena does WWE, or better than anybody does WWE. And John Cena, so he calls Logan a dumbass, challenges him to a match. Logan says, no, Logan challenged Cena to a match in a French-speaking country. So all of Canada was like, we're going to get Logan Paul versus John Cena tonight. And he's like, no. We're going to do Logan Paul versus John Cena in a good country. We're going to do it in France and Clash in Paris. So as they're just waiting, as they're talking, Drew McIntyre comes in, blasts Cena from behind. So they do the 2-on-1 beatdown with the weakest stomps I've seen outside of a women's Royal Rumble ever. And sorry, if you ever watched the first couple women's Royal Rumbles, those women are barely hitting each other. And then tracksuit Cody comes out, and he makes the save. And Cena says, Logan, you want to do Clash in Paris? You're on. But since you two are looking for a fight, and he looks at Cody, And he's like, I have a partner. So John Cena, Logan Paul against Drew McIntyre. No, I'm sorry, John
I
Cena,
was about to say
Cody
that is
Rhodes.
so wrong.
John Cena, Cody Rhodes against Drew McIntyre, Logan Paul tonight. And because the champ is here, and he's just pointing at Cody the entire time. It's fine. It's just whatever. Cody, like I said, Cody looked overly tan last night too. I don't know what was happening. I think he caught some extra UV rays. This was a fine opening segment. It set up what we knew was coming later that night, and then eventually what we knew was going to come
Well, we
towards
knew
Clash in
because your
Paris.
little summary of what was going to go down was completely wrong.
What did I say?
You were like,
what? Brock Lesnar.
Well, not only that, but you were like, what? What's going to happen? Right now, we're going to wait for John Cena to get the hot tag and blah, 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 blah. And you're like...
And he did until Logan hit the low blow.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying. Your little summary.
I got everything right. I got everything right except for John Cena getting the pinfall.
You said baby faces stand tall.
Yeah, whatever. Until Lesnar came, which he never came.
And they didn't stand tall. Cody got put to the bottom of a table.
So we'll talk about that later. Semantics. All right. So, first of all, that opening segment was way too long. Way too long. I think it was like 25 minutes of the show on a 2-hour show. It's fine. They're going to get 2 singles matches at Clash in Paris. That's going to sell the show. So then we get our first match of the night, and we get our Motor City Machine Guns against the MTF's JC Mateo and Tala Tonga. In a match that didn't seem... There was no lead up to this match. It was just announced.
Yep.
Fun enough match. Tala Tonga they're making him look more and more like a monster. They're not doing anything with Jeff Cobb. It's whatever.
He took most of the offense.
Yeah. Sabin and Shelley are fun. Towards the end, the heels get the upper hand. Tala Tonga gets in. He hits a chokeslam on, I want to say it was Chris Sabin. Doesn't really matter. He gets the pinfall. The MFTs win.
No, but seriously, he has the ugliest chokeslam I have ever seen.
His chokeslam on Sabin wasn't bad last night. I was trying to watch it when you were saying that, and I'm like, that wasn't bad. That wasn't bad.
It's not good.
I need to go back and watch the one from whatever he chokeslammed Jimmy the other day, where you said it was terrible.
It was,
and
really
I was like,
bad.
No, but the last night's was not very. Last night's not bad. So after the match, Solo and Tama Tonga get into the ring with the other 2 MFTs, and Solo's cutting a promo saying that, we're the strongest faction, and Mateo and Tonga will be tag team champions moving soon. That there's no one left to fight him because they took out Jacob Fatu, which actually, spoiler alert, you did not take out Jacob Fatu because he definitely hit a moonsault at the end of that match on both of your guys. So Nick Aldis comes out and says, Solo, since you look like you're ready for a fight and you're in your ring gear, I have a special guest for you. And I called this before he even come out. I was like, we're going to get Sami Zayn up because they're in Montreal. Like, there was no way they were not going to have their Sami Zayn on the show. And he goes, yeah, I have a special guest for you, somebody you know really well. And then Sami Zayn's music hits. They go to commercial break. Sami takes the entire 3-minute commercial break to walk the entirety of the floor of the arena to say hello to everybody. He gets in the ring. And this was a fun match. Solo and Sami have good chemistry. Mm-hmm. It got a little monotonous to the end when every time Sami would try to hit one of his haluva kicks, a member of the MFTs would jump on the apron and just get knocked back down. Up until the point where Sami eventually gets a roll up on Solo to get the win, and then runs out of the ring.
Yeah, I was gonna say, talk about your invisible wall, buddy.
It's annoying. Like, there's 4 Samoans/Tongans in the ring who chase Sami out. Sami gets to the bottom of the
ramp.
the ramp. Thank you. Right outside the ring and just sits there while all four of the MFTs are just staring at him from inside of the ring and acting like there's an invisible barrier, a Sue Storm barrier between the ring and the ramp that they cannot get out. If Sammy's just sitting there and you want to get your hands on him, you can. Just leave the ring. Why are you standing in the ring? There's four of you. Sammy don't got no friends. Sammy's on a different show than he's usually on.
Mm-hmm.
There's no reason why they all had to look like chumps and Sammy's just there getting cheered by the crowd, except for the fact that beating down Sami Zayn in Canada is apparently taboo because they can't touch everybody's favorite son. They needed the babyface pop.
Yep.
That's exactly and if they beat him, and if they beat him down, he's on Raw. There's no recourse of retribution.
Yeah.
Unless you did the thing where they attacked Sammy, four of them, and I don't know if they were even in this arena because they weren't on the show. Then you would have had Jacob Fatu and Jimmy come out to help Sammy to help fight them off. That would have been the logical booking decision, and then the three of them stand to hold on.
Every time. Where's his sign? My sign's on the door. My sign stops people from entering. He has no sign. He has 7 signs. I don't know. He has no signs to stop them. So they come in and they attack every podcast now. I think it's been like 3 of them.
They were both sleeping, so I didn't put the sign up.
Always put the sign up.
The sign's not up.
I know.
I can't stand you. But yeah, that's exactly why they didn't attack Sammy, because you had to get that moment with him looking stupid and smiling at everybody at that. He was like,
So I feel like on a weekly basis, I talk about how much I dislike Jey Uso.
Okay.
And I don't dislike Sami Zayn. Okay. They just do things with Sami Zayn on a weekly basis that annoy the crap out of me. Like every single week. When I see Sami on TV, I know we're going to get a good match. But I know we'll also get some sort of whiny babyface promo about him not having a world championship or him getting screwed out of a world championship opportunity or something. And I don't hate Sami. I like Sami. Going back to El Generico days, going back to NXT days when he was clean-shaven Sami Zayn. But I don't need this. Like, I didn't need a Sami Zayn Solo Sikoa match as good as it was last night because there's no payoff on it later. You're not advancing a story. You're not doing anything but making Solo and his group look weaker. And you shouldn't be making that group look weaker right now.
Nope.
They every other week they're getting one-on-4'd by a werewolf. Like, you can't have this group look weaker.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
All right. So then we get a backstage segment between Charlotte. Poor Solo. Justice for Solo.
Thanks.
We get our backstage segment between Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. And they're just talking. They're not really saying anything. Charlotte's like, hey, since we're here and tomorrow's your birthday, Lexi, I have gifts for you. Meet me in the ring. And Alexa's just looking bewildered. So they get to the ring. And this is the most... this is bad. This isn't Alexa Bailey, this is your life bad. But this is really bad. Charlotte's trying to get Alexa to say we're friends. Alexa keeps saying we're not friends, we're just tag team partners. There's a giant cake on the table. Charlotte tells her, look, I even got you a cake. Or us a cake. Since it's a celebration for both of us, even though it's today, Saturday is Alexa's birthday, so I don't know why we needed a celebration for Charlotte.
Because they're celebrating the tag team win.
She had a tag team championship win.
Why you're doing it weeks later, no one knows.
It was last week.
Oh, I thought it was 2 weeks ago.
SummerSlam was last week.
Oh, never mind. It was a week later.
This is the first SmackDown since SummerSlam. We just saw them win it on Saturday. They were on Raw.
Why does it feel like it's been forever then?
No, I don't know. But they were on Raw. That's when they had the rematch against Raquel and Roxanne.
That's
and
why.
and this is the third time we've seen them in like 5 days.
That's why. Okay, that makes sense. Because it definitely felt
Um,
like a few weeks, but that's exactly why. Because I forgot that they were on Raw defending.
yeah, yeah, because they're the tag champs. They go on both shows.
I guess.
So there's a giant cake there, and it says "Congratulations, Charlotte Flair" in large font, and underneath it is very small and Alexa. So Alexa's like, "How is this a cake for me? My name's not even on it." And she goes, "Yes, it is right there. It says Alexa.
It
You
says
don't need a lot of
P.S.
space."
Happy birthday.
P.S. Happy birthday on underneath it, because congratulations, Charlotte Flair, whatever. And then she goes, "I even got you a present," and she goes to a box. And she pushes the box towards Alexa. And Alexa's like, "You didn't have to do this." And pushes it back to Charlotte. She's like, "Yes, I did." And pushes it back to her. After they push it back and forth about 3 times, Charlotte's like, "Just open it." "Charlotte, I'm scared." And I'm just like, "What?" And she's like, "Look, just open it." So I think Charlotte opens it for her.
Yeah.
And hands her Lily doll that has a shirt on, a "We're Not Friends" t-shirt on.
Mm-hmm.
And Charlotte goes, "Since we're tag champions, Lily needs a tag team partner of her own." And she pulls out Charlie, which looks like Charlotte in a "We're Not Friends" shirt. But when it's the Lily doll, it looks like Charlotte. It was like, what is this?
It was bad.
What? So Alexa's like happy and holding both dolls, and she's like, "Thank you, Charlotte. You don't know how much this means to me." And then Charlotte goes, "All right, Alexa, you can hug me." And throws her arms way out, and Alexa's like, "I'm not gonna hug you." She's like, "Hug me." And Alexa does like the side walk over to Charlotte so that she can pay attention to what's happening. And right before they hug, Chelsea Green's music hits. And Chelsea's like, "Why are you guys doing a celebration in my home country? I should be the one. They should be celebrating me." She makes a Celine Dion reference, and then she gets to the ring, and Charlotte goes, "You know what? You interrupted our celebration. I have a great idea. Why don't you come to this ring and I could beat your..." And I don't remember what she said. She just challenged her so much. I was going to say Charlotte, because that's Chelsea Green always reminded me of Charlotte when she was on the Indies. Chelsea Green runs away, and Adam Pearce, nope. Adrian, nope. Nick Aldis. Nick Aldis comes out and says, "Since everybody here is making their own matches tonight, I have no problem with this." And he had a referee with him. And I looked at it and said, "What does the referee have on his shirt?" He goes, "Alexa, happy birthday. I got your birthday present." And I'm like, "Oh, it's a bow on the referee's shirt." A brand new referee. And his first duty is to referee a match between Charlotte Flair and Chelsea Green. And this was just a match. This was Charlotte puts on good matches. Chelsea's not the greatest crisp in-ring worker. She's fine, but this was just a match. It didn't feel like they had any chemistry. Didn't feel like the spots were like poorly timed. They didn't know where either one of them was going to be in the ring.
Then they integrated the cake in the match.
Yeah, I was going to say, this was all to get the comedic spot at the end, where Secret Hervis grabs the cake, and Alba Fire is trying to put the cake in the ring, but she couldn't reach to the middle. Maybe the cake was heavy, I don't know, but she couldn't get the cake into the middle of the ring. So Piper Niven grabbed Alba Fire by her feet and pushed Alba Fire in so she can push the cake into the ring. And I'm just like, what is this? Chelsea Green goes to hit the Unprettier on Charlotte onto the cake. Charlotte reverses it and hits the Unprettier on Chelsea onto the cake. Obviously doesn't hurt. Chelsea's just shocked and whatever. Charlotte puts the figure 8 on. At one point, Charlotte does the thing to Chelsea's face and eats the cake off her face. I was just like, this was just so dumb. Chelsea taps out immediately. Alexa gets in the ring. She grabs a piece of cake. She feeds it to Charlotte Flair and then puts that piece down, grabs another piece, and eats from a different piece. This was so stupid. But
this was the lull. This was the bad part of the show.
I was just like, what is happening? I get it. You're trying to get Charlotte over as a babyface, and you're doing all of these cringy things that that people have always done in wrestling to try to get somebody to like them. Mm-hmm. It just doesn't come off natural for Charlotte.
It comes off very cringe.
So I've said this before. Outside the ring, Ashley Flair seems like a wonderful person. Everybody always talks about how great she is. When she does shoot interviews, she has this personality where she's awesome.
She really does. Like lately, I've even seen some recent interviews with her, and she's very personable. But just this character trying to come off as babyface is just off.
Her persona, she's a heel. She knows how to be a heel. She does not know how to be a babyface. She hasn't really been a babyface since early NXT days. Mm-hmm. Like, she doesn't know how to do it. And she's overacting, and she's trying to get the crowd to pop, and it's working with a lot of the fans. I don't know how, but this is working with them. Maybe it's the Alexa Bliss rub. Everybody loves Alexa Bliss, and so they're getting Charlotte over that way. But it's just like, this is bad every week. Like, every time they start talking, I'm just like, I don't need this. I don't want this. And it hurts my head. Mm-hmm. That when they have matches, their tag matches so far, I think they've had like 4 of them, have been solid. They're good. But it's when they try to cut promos, I want to mute the screen and just pretend it's not happening. Mm-hmm. All right.
Before you forget, Julia backstage.
Yeah, I was gonna say we have because I was just scrolling down and I saw the main event thing, but we got to talk about the Wyatt promo as well. Listen, we got to talk about the Wyatt promo because the Wyatt promo goes into the backstage segment with the Street Profits and the DIY, which I really want to talk about, which was hilarious.
Got.
All right, but let's go to Julia backstage. So we had a backstage segment. Where they're interviewing...
What's up, face, Jade?
No, Jade walks up. They're interviewing Tiffany Stratton.
Oh.
This is how this started. They were interviewing Tiffany Stratton. Yeah. This is why they had 4 different women just seemingly going from one to another. They're interviewing Tiffany Stratton. And... Kathy Kelly is telling her she's on a great run. She's beaten everybody. What does she think? Who's next? What does she think's coming up next? And Tiffany Stratton's like, I've been champion for 216 days. I've beaten everybody, and it doesn't matter who's next because it's always going to end up the same. It's always going to be Tiffy time, whatever. So Jade comes up, and Jade says, "If your foot didn't hit the bottom rope, I'd be standing there with champion. It'd be a different story." And Tiffany goes, and this is where she loses me every time because I feel like her lines will make sense. She goes, just because it's a different story doesn't mean it's going to be a different outcome. That's the point of a different story, to get to a different outcome. I was just like, who's writing this nonsense? And she goes, and she said something that I think is going to be her new catchphrase. I don't remember what she said. But it was that's true or that's that or something. And she walks away. Doesn't really matter. So Jade's standing there now after Tiffany walks away. And Julia and Kiana James walk up to Jade. And the first thing I noticed, because I notice this every single time, Jade and Julia were wearing matching colored dresses. I don't know if they put that there for a teaser for the future. I don't know if they're doing it because WWE doesn't do things without reason. So Jade's there and Kiana James is like, if you ever want a championship match, here's my card. And then Julia's just like, think about it. And they walk away, teasing Jade versus Julia for the United States Championship. Or Kiana's trying to recruit Jade to be another one of her clients, and then she can help Jade get the match against Tiffany again. That could be either or. It could go either way. It was ambiguous in that segment, what the actual segment is. Because if I'm Kiana James, why am I trying to have my client Julia face off against Jade, who's this giant behemoth of a woman? Not behemoth like, but she's a giant woman. She's jacked, But I wouldn't put my client in that. So I think she was actually trying to recruit her. Yeah. So after they walk away...
It came across weird.
Yeah, it came across really weird. This is why I said 6 silver colored dresses make sense if Kiana James is trying to recruit her.
Yeah.
After she walks away, Mia Yim walks up with her kendo stick, and she goes, if you don't need that card, I'll take that from you. I'm going to go get me a United States Championship match. And then she walks away, and Jade just looking at everybody like, what is happening around here? This was just a lot of time devoted to something that amounted to nothing. Except for the fact that we're going to get Julia Mia Yim at one point, and maybe teasing a Jade heel turn. That's what I got from this whole segment.
Well, I've been telling you too that Jade needs a mouthpiece, so who knows if that's the plan.
Yeah, but you know what that comes off to me, and it comes off to me like Pure Fusion Collective.
Why?
Because it'll be Jade could be in the Shayna Baszler role. You have the other one who's the champion to be in the Zoe Stark role. And then you have Kiana James being the mouthpiece that Sonya Deville was.
Yeah, but Sonya Deville actually wrestled.
And Kiana James can wrestle. She just hasn't.
I didn't say she can't. I'm just saying she's not. That's not her role right now. She's just a mouthpiece.
It comes off as 3 women you don't think would be aligned together, getting together for what reason? Just for affection?
Sure.
That's my point. So yeah, we also got the Wyatt 6 segment. Bo doesn't really say anything of consequence here. My boys are the tag team champions. Joe Gacy says something. He does. I think Joe Gacy sometimes does cryptic message better than Bo Dallas does. I would love to see Joe Gacy take more of not a leadership role, but more of a vocal role in this group. Let Bo just be there, be the leader, and have Joe be almost like a mouthpiece. And then just let the other 2 giant monsters just destroy people. But this was just to remind people that they're the champions and just to get us to a hilarious backstage segment between the Street Profits and DIY. So Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins are in the back in the trainer's room because they're still selling the effects of a TLC match from Sunday. DIY walks in and they blame the Street Profits again for losing the tag team championships to the Wyatts. He goes, you lost the championships to the Wyatts. This is your fault. Basically your fault. We all had the ladder match in the first place. And the Street Profits are just like, again, Tommaso Ciampa calls them murderers for almost murdering Candice LeRae. Angelo Dawkins, they start showing her bruise, which was nasty. That was gnarly. Angelo Dawkins or the other one, they say, we almost killed her? Johnny Gargano, husband of the year over here, is the one that pushed her off the ladder. He goes, don't you know how inertia works or momentum works or whatever? Because he had gotten blasted. And then they're like, who told her to be on the ladder anyway? And Tommaso Ciampa is like, it's a ladder match. And I'm like, she's not in the match. Like, it'll make no sense. So all this walks in, and Nick Aldis was all over the show. Nick Aldis walks in, he goes, I'm done with this. And I thought we were going to get a 6-man tag match next week. But he goes, y'all want to fight so bad? I'm going to give y'all all a week to rest up because Johnny Gargano is also selling the throat thing.
Yeah.
Where he can, the voice box where he can speak. So I'm gonna give y'all all a week to rest up, and next week will be the Street Profits versus DIY. And Tommaso Ciampa is so funny. He walks out and he goes. We'll think about it. You know, he's got his throat thing. Candice can't barely walk. Who knows if we're gonna be ready? But we'll go. It's just like, oh god, this was funny, but it's just like we've talked about this for weeks on end. This tag division needs focus. They need something. Like this is just a random tag match next week, just to have another random tag match next week.
Mm-hmm. At least it's not a whole show of tag matches.
Oh, we don't know that yet. We'll find out later. We did get a Carmelo Hayes backstage segment where he's going to knock on Nick Aldis's door.
Only to be caught.
Only being interrupted by The Miz. The Miz was coming out of Nick Aldis's office.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, Miz, where have you been? I haven't seen you in 2 months. And Miz is like, well, first of all, Miz is out shooting American Gladiator or whatever he was out shooting for what he's doing. And they're just having a back and forth. And Miz is like, we need to remind everybody that you're a star, that you are him. And Melo's like, yeah, that's why I'm going to Nick Aldis to get me a United States Championship. Excuse me. And Miz is like, no, I already spoke to Aldis. And next week, me and you are going to have a tag match against, I don't remember who, it doesn't matter. We're going to have a tag match next week. And he said a name. I don't remember who it was. Next week. And then Melo was like, he gives him like the side eye and just says, okay. And he walks away. After he walks away, Nick Aldis walks up to Miz and he goes, what was that about? And Miz is like, Miz goes, let me talk to you for a second. So he lied to Carmelo's face about speaking to Nick Aldis, never having a match in place. And then now he's got to backdoor his way into a tag match. Are we getting a turn from Carmelo Hayes? Is Carmelo going to turn babyface after this feud?
I think so.
That's what
you're not flipping the Miz.
No. If anything, Miz turns on him the way he turns on every one of his tag partners.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'd love to see them do more with Carmelo Hayes. He's a great in-ring worker. It's just hard to find spots for him when everybody's wrapped up in stuff.
Yeah.
And if he does turn babyface, I can think Melo and Solo have good chemistry going back to their NXT days. That could be a really cool feud moving forward. Melo already looks like an underdog, so him having to fight off all 4 members of the NFTs could be intriguing. He'd need to get his own sort of faction. Maybe he creates a mini alliance with the Street Profits. They have his back to fight off the MFCs, just to throw a name out there, because, professional wrestling logic, the African American can only be backed by other African Americans. So it's true. Like, we have 4 or 5 Mexican tag teams, and none of them interact with anybody outside of their race, bro. Except for a Grande Americano.
I can't stand
so it's the truth. So maybe that's where we'll go. And it keeps the Street Profits having to do something outside of the tag division for tag team titles for a little while. Who knows? Then we get our main event match: Logan Paul and Drew McIntyre against
John Cena, Ron Killings in the back.
Oh yeah, that was funny. So going towards this match, John Cena's walking to the ring, and Ron Killings just walks up to him. They don't say anything. And they do that stupid mime thing because John Cena's wearing his all red outfit with the baseball cap. Ron Killings is wearing all black with a baseball cap. And just like, there's nothing similar about you two for you guys to be doing this mime, except that you both have rap albums. You're both wrestlers who rap. That's the only thing that I got from similar about you two. So after they do that, Truth looks at him and goes, "You're back. My childhood hero is back. And if you're back, I'm back." Cena looks at him and he goes, "Yeah, it was a weird couple months for a little while. And Cena saying you cut your hair, you ran down the crowd, you did all these things, you even made the little kid in Brussels cry. And I'm just like, he's really trying to gaslight and really trying to tell truth that everything Cena did was truth doing it. It's just like, what is happening?
He fell for it though because his eyes just widened when Cena walked away. He didn't say nothing.
It wasn't even like a widening. It was like a, I don't. He was looking at him like, that doesn't sound right. But if it's John Cena saying it, I'll believe it. Mm-hmm. That's what I took from that. Like, yeah, and then yeah. But yeah, we spoke about this last week on the pod. They brought back truth because of fan outcry and outcry from the performers backstage.
Yep.
They gave them 2 matches. They gave them main event. No, this is the main event match for which John Cena was before they fired him. They gave him 2 matches against Cena, which I think both ended in disqualification after he came back. Mm. And he had a match against Aleister Black. Mm. They dropped all of his things after that. You could have told different stories, either keeping him in the Priest and Black thing, or you could have had him prolong the thing and had him be the reason Cena turned babyface at SummerSlam. You could have interjected truth into the match at SummerSlam with Cody Rhodes if you were to do anything else. Again, you don't turn Cena babyface on Friday Night SmackDown. You have him go into the SummerSlam match as a heel. You could have interjected truth into that match to help Cena turn babyface, and then you can have the Brock surprise at the end. There's other ways to do what they did, and they just dropped the ball. But they just using truth, and to just now turn truth back into his old character with no reasoning other than John Cena's back, so I'm back. You had this man cut his hair on national TV, and you didn't do a payoff for it.
Nope.
Like, illogical booking. They're going to let him go because he's 55 years old when his contract's up. Because they didn't announce if he signed an extension. They just brought him back. So, at least because it wasn't a release, it was we're not going to renew Truth's contract when it's over. But they didn't announce when it was over, and they didn't announce he signed an extension. So this could still be him just being on TV until his contract runs out.
Yeah.
So they're going to let him go when his contract runs out. They're not going to re-sign him. And he's going to go out and do some music, some more music. I mean, it might be too old for him to start an acting career, but I would love to see Truth in like some like B-level comedy movies. And just having small roles, I think he could be great at those things. And let him do some indie wrestling until he's, 62 years old, still looking like a Greek Adonis and retires, because that dude's still in incredible shape for his age.
Yep, he can still move.
Yeah. All right, then we got our main event: Logan Paul and Drew McIntyre against John Cena and Cody Rhodes. So after the entrances, I looked down at the clock. When the bell rang, it was 9:50 p.m. Eastern. Mm-hmm. So I was like, this match is going to be 10 minutes long. When Logan Paul, after the hot tag, because Cody took most of the damage in this match, after the hot tag and Cena was getting his shine at the end, when Logan Paul hit the low blow on Cena for the disqualification, it was 9:56 p.m. This was a 6-minute tag team match between 3 former world champions, or 1 world champion, 2 former world champions, and a megastar. It was 6 minutes long because this match was just to get you to what happens at the end. That's all this was for. The heels stand tall. Logan Paul hit Cena with the belt. I think. I don't even remember what. No, he hit him with the low blow. Instead, Cena just is nowhere to be seen for the rest of the show.
No.
They
ran
No,
off.
he's not.
Yes, they did.
They ran off fighting?
They ran off fighting backstage. Cena was chasing Logan Paul.
All right, so apparently crotch shots mean nothing anymore. Or Cena has balls of steel. So then, leaving McIntyre and Cody, McIntyre hits Cody with the belt, and he stares at the belt, and you made this reference. He said, it's like Smeagol. And I was just like, Gollum, and I have no idea because I'm sorry, Lord
It's
of
the
the
same
Rings fans, if
person.
you're out there.
Same
I'm
person.
sorry, Lord of the Rings fans, if you're out there. I am not that big of a Lord of the Rings nerd. Talk to me about something else. It's apparently Smeagol and Gollum, the same person, but he's definitely looking at it like my precious. Cody starts getting up to his knees. Drew sees him and obliterates Cody. Cody did not protect himself at all. So Cody's up against the announce table on his hands and knees, and Drew hits a claymore, smashing Cody through the wood that holds the table together underneath. And Drew does. It's an amazing shot at the end. It'll be the thumbnail when you see it. Drew laying under the table with Cody Rhodes as selling, talking mad smack in Cody's ear. Drew is amazing. I understand he loses all of his feuds going back for a while now, but you can implement Drew in any main title picture at any time, and it's believable because he's bigger than everybody, he's stronger than everybody, he's a great talker, and he's great in the ring. You could put him anywhere, and I will believe it. It's like when I said, you used to say you could drop Kevin Owens to a world title picture right now, and I'll believe it. Who cares? Those are guys who break glass in case of emergency. I got nothing for Cody. We'll put him in with Drew for 2 months.
Yeah,
and they'll put on some really. They're going to put on some really good matches, and it'll hopefully tell a really good story going back to their years ago when they were tag team champions before they were both released. And there's a lot to pull from in their history. But yeah, that was SmackDown. Heel Stand Tall. It was a fine show. It's just, like I said, there were so many lulls in here where I felt like you could just ignore and not pay attention.
Again, I still feel it was a better SmackDown than what we've been getting for weeks on end. Because
we're tired of tag teams. That's why you feel that way. Every week on SmackDown, we're seeing tag team matches. So we're going into it like, oh, we got to do this again and watch all these tag matches, and you're getting tired of it. This SmackDown was highlighted by the opening segment and the closing segment, and everything else in between was just filler. The Sami Zayn match, the Charlotte Alexa Bliss Chelsea Green segment, the 5,000 backstage segments we got. Everything in the middle was just filler. It was to get you to the end.
That doesn't change what I said. I said it was still better than most previous weeks, sir.
You could have watched the first 25 minutes and the last 10 minutes on SmackDown and not felt like you missed anything. That's how I took SmackDown last night.
Lordy. So hard to please.
I'm not. I'm really not. Every segment we just broke down, we said with Sami Zayn solo. It was just so Sami Zayn can get the babyface pop, does nothing for solo at the end. So it's a negative segment in my opinion. Charlotte, Chelsea, negative segments. This was stupid. The backstage segments were fine because they are what they are. And then we only got the one other match.
It was 4 matches in total.
Yeah. It was very promo and interview heavy, SmackDown. So that's my take on it. But that's just my opinion. I could be wrong. I give it a C minus.
That's crazy.
It passes. It's passable. It's like when you study all night for a test and you get a C 72.
Minus, at least a C plus.
Nah, that's a 79, bro. I don't give that. No. This was a 72. Like there was nothing here, and it would have been worse than that if Drew didn't stand tall at the end. If Cody would have stood tall, it might have gotten like a 64. It might not have even passed my grade of the scale of harm hatred. We should make that into a shirt. Scale of yes.
I can't stand
harm scale of hatredicity.
What? Oh my You're out of control.
I'm creating words.
But yeah, that was SmackDown. Nothing this weekend, right? It's just Monday.
No, WWE gave us a weekend off. Thank God.
Ah, finally.
We need the next PLE is August 31st.
Okay.
So 3 weeks from
Which is
tomorrow.
what, Clash?
Paris, yeah.
Okay.
They gave us a couple weeks off. Unless you're an NXT fan and you want to watch NXT Heatwave on August 24th.
Yeah! It's not canon. I can't do it.
Who's the NXT Heavyweight Champion, Jay?
Isn't it?
I know you were about to say Trick Williams. Nope.
I was gonna say Trick Williams. Hold on. No, isn't
He had his championship.
No, I know. It's not Obi. Obafemi. Obi. It is?
It's still Obafemi. It's still Obafemi.
Oh wow.
Trick Williams is the TNA Heavyweight Champion, sir.
No, that I know, but I thought he was dual, but I'm confusing him with what's her face.
JC Jane.
Yeah, that she has both.
Yes.
That's what it was. Okay. Whatever. Blah.
This is how little you pay attention to NXT.
Hey, I still got it right.
Who's the NXT North American champion?
Isn't it Sol Ruka?
That's the women's North American champion. You got that one right. Who's the men's North American champion?
Oh, that skinny kid.
No, it's not. It's not Javon Evans.
Oh, then I got nothing.
Ethan Page.
Oh, I should have remembered that because of the whole segment where he's the American, but he changed it into the Canadian flag.
Yes.
I should have known that one.
I'd ask you who the tag team champions are, but you don't know their names.
But it's that team. The one that was going to get hit with the chairs, no? That's how I'm going to remember them.
NXT's version of Public Enemy is the way I describe them because they wear jerseys to the ring and they look like them.
I've never seen them in ring gear.
Hank and Tank.
Hank and Tank. That just sounds stupid.
Yes.
Oh my god. Okay.
I think that's all their championships in NXT. I don't think they have any other ones. I'm probably forgetting one. I don't remember.
Oh yeah, who's the speed champion?
It was discontinued.
That's all. I was waiting for you to tell me, so I could be like, false.
Well, that'll be a trivia question in the future. Who's the last women's WWE Speed champion?
And the men's?
Oh, I mean, I thought you were going to answer.
It's Sol Ruka.
I don't know who that. And I think the men's, isn't it still Grande Americano?
Oh,
or did he lose it?
I thought it was Phoenix. Not Phoenix.
Did he lose it to? No, it was Dragon Lee. I think Grande Americano beat him for it.
Who knows?
The Speed. You want to talk about a show that's not canon? Like, Speed has never been canon.
All right, but you're talking to me about a non-canon show and expecting me to know answers, so I expect you to know.
Yeah, the current WWE Speed champion is El Grande Americano, according to Wikipedia, but it was discontinued. It was Twitter discontinued it. I think the thing ended their relationship with Twitter.
They shouldn't have had a relationship with Twitter, but whatever.
It is what it is. I mean, we talk about this all the time, right-leaning WWE politics. But now what you could do is, because it made more sense, you could take Speed and you could put it on TikTok. That would be a better platform for Speed. TikTok is all about having short-form videos, and those matches are 3 minutes or less.
Yeah, sure. Or YouTube Shorts.
TikTok, they're already in Saudi Arabia. Why not get some more Chinese money?
Because you're not going to do TikTok because TikTok isn't going to be a thing in a few months.
It will be. It's gonna be
something else.
It's gonna stay. They're not banning TikTok.
All right. Well, timestamp this because I guarantee you it's going away. It's going to be called something else here in the U.S. and then we're not going to have any overseas videos. It's gonna be just a U.S. thing. That's what they're
Nah,
saying
this
now.
is it's all a money grab by our current chief in state, whatever the president of the United States, to to steal more money from the global economy for America. That's what he's doing.
I guess. But yeah.
Anyways, let's not get into politics on here.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that was SmackDown. This is episode 36, I believe. I think that's what I put on the thumbnail.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Keep an eye out moving forward. Soon to be have a line of merch coming out for us as well. If we can ever figure out, payment authorizations and things like that. But yeah, like I said, we're having a lot more growth the last few weeks on TikTok, and hopefully it starts to translate into our other places. You can find us always on Spotify, YouTube, iHeartRadio, and TikTok Live whenever we are not too lazy. So that's really the truth. Do you want to go live tonight? No, I don't want to go live.
Yeah,
Do you want to go live tonight?
Basically, because I didn't even ask you last night. I was like, I don't feel like
And I slept through the first segment. I wasn't even up for when SmackDown started.
True.
So,
but anyways, as always, we appreciate you guys. Thank you for everything. Thank you for the comments, the follows, and all that stuff. And we'll catch you on the next one.
peace.